Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Book Boat. It has been a while, so we are just going to introduce ourselves. I am Jocelyn, one of your co-hosts, and my other co-host, Alejandra.
No, this is Patrick. Just kidding. I'm so excited to be back. Yes, I'm Alejandra, but we have not been here since last year. We recorded at the end of last year, and I don't know, I'm so excited and nervous to be back. Season two. I don't know. How do you feel?
I'm feeling the same way. So we took a little bit of a break from recording. Holidays were kind of around. We wanted to just kind of take a moment to just really like get back with our lives and then refocus back on this. And so I don't know, I feel really excited. I feel like there's this whole new energy, maybe because we're getting more comfortable. So it
Yeah.
just, I don't know, I feel like we were a lot more sillier. I feel like this whole year has felt more refreshing in a way. But I maybe that's how all years start. I don't know. I just feel like there's a whole new energy going on in this world, and I am absolutely here, living for it, loving it. So yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I think at first we were gonna do a shorter break, but I think we should have I like the amount of time we took. I definitely tried to focus on school and teaching. I wanted to work on CalTPA. I did not successfully do that. I'm hoping to do it next week. But it's been good. I've been adding to my book collection, and I'm just like so excited to share even more books. I'm definitely, I feel like I'm nervous, even though we did, I don't know how many episodes last season. It just
Yeah,
feels like new.
it feels
But
like
I'm
we're
excited
starting
to be
from the
back.
first time. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It just I also was supposed to be working on CalTPA, and my supervisor for like my induction program has been like, so you filling out these documents that you're supposed to be doing? I'm like, yes, I totally am.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I which is yeah, I was doing that yesterday too, and I'm just it's so hard, especially now because I think when we were in the university, um, we were all together and we were all doing the same thing, but now here I feel like they just kind of like threw me out like by myself in a way. So I definitely want to get it done, but hopefully soon.
yeah. So we're both excited to be back, and just like we started kind of off last season, we're doing another your favorites episode. So just seeing what are our current favorites as we've taken breaks, and Alejandra said that she's kind of like added to her collection. I've kind of done a little bit of research on like some books that I wanted to include. And yeah, so this is going to be an episode of what are our current favorites because we can't just always have one favorite for the rest of our lives.
No, yeah. It was hard. I had like the same problem that I had last time we recorded this, where I was like, I have so many favorites, I don't know how to pick one. And I switched favorites a few times, but I felt like it was really important. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Who's going first? Was it me or
It
you?
doesn't matter. You're going on the flow. Go for
Okay,
it.
sorry. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I kept going back and forth, and then I decided to go with the one that I'm going to go with today. During break, I actually celebrated my birthday, and a lot of people were giving me gifts. So I'm super thankful for the gifts that I received during my birthday, and this was actually one of them. And it was given by Alyssa. So shout out to Alyssa. The book is called The ABCs of Black History. And again, if you're listening to us, we also record. So there's a video of us just kind of staring at each other and sharing our books. So I'm showing the book right now. And the author is Rio Cortez, and it's illustrated by Lauren Summers. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. And when we're recording this, it is February, so it is Black History Month. And I definitely wanted to share these types of Black history books with my students. Of course, I've been trying to do it all year round, but I love that this is a focus for the month. So I definitely wanted to, make sure I highlighted this book. And I guess a quick little summary would be that it is an ABC book, as in like there's a letter and it kind of represents it. So like A is for anthem, F is for food, and G is for go. And I love how each one has like a little story about it. And I thought it was going to be a little overwhelming for my students if I read it all to them in one day. So what I've been doing is I've been sharing about 2 to 3 letters per day for the whole month. And it's really exciting. The kids are reading it. Some of the pages, for example, I is for imagine, invent, innovate, and it features different Black inventors or like people who are artists and things like that. So my students will then see it and they're like, oh, who's this? And then we kind of go down this rabbit hole where we like look up the person and we learn a little bit about the person. And the students have just loved it. And I like that it's also very, it doesn't exactly sugarcoat things. And one of the letters that I kind of wanted to highlight was M, and they did, sorry, now I can't breathe. M is for March, for lifting our feet, taking the movement, the cause to the street. Black Lives Matter, every breath, every dream. Every thought, each idea, each impossible scheme. The might of our message is easy to hear. The drumbeat of hope is louder than fear. And I loved the picture, which I'm going to hopefully highlight. And it kind of shows a march, and it'll show different posters that they're holding. And what I really liked about it too is that I don't know, like I would have been fine if this just highlighted, for example, Black Lives Matter, but the fact that they took their time to to draw a pride flag, to mention to stop global warming, to protect kids and not guns. Like they featured other important causes, and I thought that was really special. And I don't know, this is something that, like in the picture, it shows that on one side it'll start off with we march with Salem, which was obviously a few years ago, up to now where they had a poster that says we can't breathe, which came obviously with George Floyd. So I think in a way it's, I don't know, seeing it from the beginning to the end, like how it's still happening, and it's something that's still I don't know, like we're working towards this, I don't know, towards these causes. And I think, I don't know, that page just really got to me. But really, all the pages I think had a great message, and I've really enjoyed it, and my kids have really enjoyed this book as well.
One, I would just like to say that I absolutely love this book already. It just seems like, and I love the way that you're incorporating it into your classroom too, especially being Black History Month and you're doing just like a couple letters each day. I love that. I love that so much. And shout out to Alyssa for getting such a good book.
I
Yeah.
know. I was like, this book is amazing. Because yeah, at first I didn't really know what books, because there's so, I mean, there's not that there's so many, but like I kind of started to collect a lot, and I don't know, I didn't want to push it all. Like I just love this idea of like, I don't know, just incorporating it little by little into the classroom. Like we will have our morning meeting. Now they're used to, and they're like, all right, like, can I read one of the letters today? Like they're really excited about it. And yeah, I can't wait till we finish reading the whole alphabet. Right now, I think we're currently like on K. So it's exciting. But our three questions were who writes the story? So I looked up the author a little bit, Rio Cortez. So the author is a New York Times bestselling author. They've written multiple books, and they're also a poet. They were born and raised in Salt Lake City and now live in Harlem. And I really like the fact that they mentioned being a poet, especially after, you know, inauguration, and like the beautiful poem that was read at inauguration makes me want to include it more. And this book does include some like rhyming and some rhyming, I don't know, text features. And I thought that was really important and something that we could look at, which is a little bit more on the educational side that I look at as the classroom teacher. So who benefits from the stories? I really think everybody. And I like that. I know when we were in the program, we focused a lot on like social studies and how sometimes they don't always include all of the history. So to like just do a quick recap every morning on these letters and like the Black history, I think is really important. So I think all of my students are really benefiting from it, especially since we've seen that sometimes curriculum doesn't always include everything, or some things are kind of glazed over, which I don't necessarily agree with. Who is missing from the stories? I don't necessarily think there's, I mean, I don't think anyone is necessarily missing from the story. I think as a teacher, obviously, like I just keep wanting more and more things, but I love that it gives like a quick overview on some of these topics. And that way, um, us as a class and me as a teacher, I kind of allow the time to research even further, which is, I think, really exciting for the students. And of course, the back of the book is just amazing. And I feel like if we ever made merch, I would just like need to have something where it's like the back of the book had blah, blah, blah. But it has like a terms and figures page where it has, again, the alphabets, and it gives you like what they did. So like, if you're looking at our video, it'll say like right there, like A is for anthem, B is for beautiful.
Love that.
And then it gives you like, I don't know, like a quick little talking point in a way. Which I truly love, and I will give a huge shout out to the illustrator Lauren. The illustrations are beautiful, and like the colors are so vibrant, and I love that they feature like the some of the kids that are on here on the drawings. As you can see, we have lots of different skin tones, from like a lighter skin to a darker skin, and just the illustrations are just beautiful. So the author and illustrator did amazing. Alyssa, thank you so much for gifting me this book. I love it, and I've been recommending it to like everybody. So this is why I picked this one as my current favorite.
I love that. This book is just, it's a good book to start off with. I love that it's just it's bringing, like you said, there's just been so many counter narratives that have been left out of history, and so this is just bringing those voices who haven't been heard into such positive like light, and I love that.
Yeah.
That I was just like, while you were explaining the book, I was just thinking like this would be very awesome for like students to create their own alphabet. Based off, like, what is it like about who they are, like where they come from. I think like I always like, to me it's like, what is a great project that goes along with it?
Yeah, no, which is always fun. And I love that idea, actually. And I also really like, because like we were talking about like a project, even if they turned this into like kind of their own ABC, like I mentioned, it featured a lot of poetry, and I think it would be kind of fun for them to do like their own poem to include it in this project. And now I'm like, man, maybe I should have done that as my project. It's awesome, an awesome idea. So thank you.
No, I like it. Good book, Alejandra. Love this. So my book was gonna be it's a book that's been on the New York Times bestseller. And you know what? It is okay, because, and the reason I'm drawing inspiration for this book is because of what this whole podcast was. Like, our podcast started as an idea, and what do you do with it? So the book I chose was What Do You Do with an Idea by Kobe Yamada, and it's illustrated by May Bessam. And this book is just, I think it's really cute. But it's a super adorable. It's just like a child just being like, what do you do with this idea? And he like fosters it, and the idea grows with him. And it's just completely amazing how everything just turns out in this book. And I was reading it, and I was like, there was another book I was going to pick for today, and I came upon this one, and I was like, oh my God, this is how our podcast started. And so it was just a simple idea from this project that we were doing, and it just like blossomed, and it grew, and it became our little baby. And so I love this message, because I have read this to students before, and it's seeing their faces as like the illustrations kind of continue going, and the child talks about how it's an idea that he like is scared to share, he or she is scared to share, but this idea keeps following them, and like I love that a lot. And I think especially like I think, wow, I'm just dropping everything. So I started
this first day back recording, so it's okay.
I'm all clumsy again. So I started this podcast by saying it just feels like it's a whole new energy for this year. And so I wanted to really do this book because of just because of this whole feeling of a new energy. It feels like new ideas are going to be fostered, change is going to happen. And why not have this book that, yes, it may have been on the New York Times bestseller, but it's there for a reason. It's been translated to so many different languages. There's like this cute little plush character of your idea. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I wish I owned one actually now that I think about it. But it's like, it looks like a little egg with a crown.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm looking it up right now and I'm like, that's so cute.
So it's like just wonderful how this idea just keeps going and going. And I honestly just, I'm happy like that this book has been on the New York Times bestseller for the best. And it's at the end. Oops. Sorry about that. So at the end, like everything is all like colorful, and this illustrator is based in China. And so the guy that
Oh,
actually wrote the book, so Kobe Yamamata, he's a CEO of a company, and so he started writing a lot of like adult books about self motivation and all of that. And he wanted to write this children's book about what do you do with an idea. And he was working on another project and came across May Basam's like illustration and was like, that is who I want to illustrate this book. And so she does like a really, really good job doing that. So anyways, that is my book. I get really excited. So what do you do with an idea? You may start a podcast, you can change the world. And so it's just the energy that I've been feeling. And there's like an entire series. So it's like, what do you do with an idea? And then I think there's like a couple more books now. So yeah.
yes. I was gonna say, yeah, when we were talking about what books we were gonna bring in, you mentioned that book, and I was like, why does it sound so familiar? And we graduated last summer 2020, and as everyone knows, I have another job at a wine store, and my manager, I'm like, I don't know, should I say his name? Should I not? I don't know if he'll get mad. I'll just say my manager gave me, him and his wife gifted me the gift set of these books, and they're so cute. So I have that one, and I have the what do you do with a problem and what do you do with a chance. But I did not know it came with a cute little egg with the crown. So now I want to get it because I got the little book set, and now I want to add that. So when my kids come back to class, hopefully soon, we'll have a little companion. But no, I love it, and I love the idea of, I don't know, just like inspiring kids that you can have this idea and it can grow into something. And I think a lot of times kids aren't always given the benefit of the doubt of like their ideas coming like to reality or them being able to like really accomplish these ideas. I think sometimes even kids themselves can be made to feel that, I'm just a little kid, like what can I do? But I love this idea of you have an idea, you can make it come true. And I love the comparison because yeah, you were right. Like we kind of threw around this idea of a podcast as like our project, and then we're like, wait, should we really do this? And now here we are into our second season, and just looking at the growth we had our first season to like ending it doing a showcase with San Jose State, I think is just amazing. And it makes me really excited to see what we could continue to do. And even though sometimes I know you and I have never mentioned it, but I think we both obviously have a lot going on, and sometimes it could feel like, oh man, like we have to go record today. And like once we're here, it's always really exciting. But it is like another thing that we have to do. And I don't know, like I'm excited to see where our idea kind of continues to go and grow. And I think this is a great book, and I'm glad it's your favorite, and I'm glad you've been recommending it and that we get
Yeah.
to feature it here.
No, I love it. And I want to go back to what you're saying, like a lot of time children or students' ideas or children's idea. I keep saying students, but just because you mentioned that like
Yeah.
your children's ideas don't often get validated because they think they're just like, oh, you're a child, like what do you not know? But I love that this book really does give it this concrete, like giving it the little egg with the crown, like, and the fact that it's wearing a crown too is what I love, because it shows value. Like we see a crown, someone wearing a crown, like, oh, she must have just won something, or maybe he's a king or a queen. It's like there's value to it. And so it's like your idea has value. And it almost gives like, to me, reading it, like I hope that a child reads this and just gets a sense of autonomy. Like I do have like my ideas are valued, and because that's how like our world runs. Like we currently live in like the tech capital of the world, like
Yeah.
Apple and Google and all this stuff, and it's based off people's ideas. And so what is our next generation's ideas going to look like? What are our iPhones, or what are cars,
Yeah.
or what are houses like going to look like in the next 20 or so years? And so I love that this book gives those gives an idea, that concrete almost like feeling, where maybe it is a plush with a little crown, it's the egg,
Yeah.
but it makes kids feel like my idea is there and I should foster it and help it grow, and maybe one day like change will happen. So yeah, I wanted to go back to that because you said that, I was like, yes, exactly.
No, yeah, and it's something that I talked about recently with my students where like I mentioned right now when we're recording this, it's Black History Month, and one of my students actually found a video of Martin Luther King's daughter giving a speech, and I played it for them. And I'm like, I wanted them to see somebody their age being able to kind of make an impact. And I want them to realize that, yes, they might be young, but they still have these amazing ideas and dreams. And I want them to know that they're valid and that they can make a change. So now I'm like, now I definitely want to read this book with them. And by the way, I've seen the illustrations and they are absolutely beautiful. I just always have to give a shout out because as much as like we shouldn't judge books by just like the cover and things like that, when the illustrations are beautiful, it just makes it easy to like, I don't know,
Yeah,
look at the book.
it's like when the illustrations are beautiful, it shows like the passion and the effort
Mm-hmm.
that not only the author like chose to do it, but also like the illustrator, and like it, whoever's illustrating, like part of their who they are is like in those pictures. And so yes, we're not supposed to judge books by their illustration covers, but I mean, we can't help it.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job out there, illustrators.
Keep it up. But yes, oh, my 3 questions. Sorry about that. We get so distracted. So
I
who
know.
story? So we know it's sorry. We know it is Kobe Yamada. Yamada. I'm trying to respectfully say his name. So and I feel like he's had like a lot of experience with like writing books for adults, and he obviously his book has done really great. So and he brought in May Benson, so that's awesome. And then who benefits from the story? I think everybody. I also, this is gonna sound really weird, I also think adults can benefit from this story. In a
Oh,
weird
definitely.
way. Like, and I think because he was an adult writer, like adult book writer and like self-help book, like this, like, I don't know, the way that he writes in this book is just so like, yeah, what do you do with an idea?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we get this to make change? And so I think everyone, kids benefit, adults, everyone. And who is missing from the story? I really don't think anybody is missing. I really like how it's just one child and it's just the idea as the like story progresses. And so I feel like any child can be like, hey, that's me. Like we know the picture
Mm-hmm.
is black and white. So it's like they can see themselves in that. And so I really like that.
Yeah, I definitely loved that about the illustrations too, where because it is kind of in black and white, I feel like a student can also just picture them or someone like them in the picture.
Yes, exactly.
Um, but yay, I think, is this the end of our first episode of season 2, everybody?
I know, and the thing is like we start this episode feeling just so nervous, and I'm looking at it and I was like, wow, this has gone by really fast. Like, did
It
I really
always,
this
yeah,
much?
it always goes by really fast. I do feel like I was a little rusty, but I love the fact that we try to, I don't know, make it conversationally. And I love the way that both you and I sometimes can, I don't know, like I feel like our flow has gotten really well.
Yes.
And I don't know, like I might go off on an idea, but you somehow like manage to kind of bring me back while still talking to me about the idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 1 done.
Episode 1. Woo! And as we always end our episodes, we end it with an ending question and ending challenge. So I'm going to present the ending question today with what has been your favorite book recently? So we know book lovers, we tend to be like, this is my favorite book. Like, so I want to, we both want to hear like, what's the book that you keep picking up right now, or you keep wanting to go back
Mhm.
to it? So let us know.
Yeah, I need to add more to my ever-growing library. And our
Thoughts on that?
our ending challenge is, yeah, we are starting off season 2, and we would love to have some suggestions on topics that you want us to cover. I recently featured on our Instagram, I kind of made a question poll thing where people could submit their topic ideas, and I know we got a few. So we're definitely going to look into those and hopefully feature some episodes with some of the suggestions everyone sends in. So please keep sending in topic suggestions because I don't know, I feel like part of this podcast has always been that we wanted it to be a conversation and not just Jocelyn and I kind of picking what we want, but we want to hear what people are want to listen to, and like I said, have it be a conversation. So my favorite part, well, not my favorite part, but I like to tell people that I'm always doing the ending credits. I'm like, subscribe, do this. When I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm the one who does the ending. So thank you everybody for listening. Please subscribe to our podcast. I believe we are on most major podcast platforms. So if you search up the Book Boat, you will find us in case you're watching the video. We also link for you to listen to the podcast. Please rate it. Apple Podcast does 5 stars. So of course, if you would rate us 5 stars, we would appreciate it. And of course, leave us a review. We always are open to feedback and just kind of want to know what everyone is thinking after they listen to our episode. And follow our YouTube, which, by the way, my brother texted me the other day and he kind of laughed because we don't have a lot of YouTube followers. So I'm like, I need to plug our YouTube a little bit more. But
I get it, but at the same time, like I'm very like easygoing with my style. And I was like, oh god, people are gonna see my hair in a mess now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, we don't really push our YouTube as much because, I mean, we were in the weird situation where we started recording this over Zoom because of the pandemic, and we've kind of been able to keep it up. So it just so happens that we record it anyways, so we just post it. Plus, I think it'll be nice to people who want to see the book, and maybe people who are more visual. But it's not that. I mean, I don't want to say it's not that exciting because I want you guys to come watch our videos, but our videos are there. And let's not have my brother make fun of me anymore and say that my nephew has more subscribers than me. So let's follow our YouTube at the Book Boat. Follow our Instagram at _bookboat, which is, I believe, where we are the most kind of active and talking to everybody who replies to us, and where we post a lot more stories and we feature the inside of the book. So yeah, definitely follow us on Instagram at the _bookboat and like us on Facebook. Just search up the Book Boat and give us a like, please. So yeah, this is a wrap for episode 1, season 2. Thank you, everybody.
Bye everyone. It was so good being back.
Bye.